In shadows we lurk, in shadows we play. This is Night Shift.
Nothing from the top down, supersonic death out. A play of printed kisses crawling in my head. Ragged figure sitting, stood and walked away. A play of splintered sunlight, I stood and walked away. Time whistle falling inside out. Deadly cycle, Jenny shouted out. She shouted sea spray, hearing nitrate vision. Cheap black, pushing a collision. Information is it's in her sleep. Struggle, trickle, frequent. Download the trees. Now is something very wrong. Always talking inward. Now approaching zero. Time whistle falling inside out. Deadly cycle, Jenny shouted out. She shouted sea spray, hearing nitrate vision. Cheap black, pushing a collision. Ruffling short, swaying with struck fingers. Embracing daisies, Jenny shouted out. She shouted dust tracks, walking round her love. Trees planning as they should. did have a love I don't know which way to go half the time on this. Yeah, the hair is a bit wrong, and my makeup went a bit wrong as well, especially on the side that is more visible. But anyway, we've got various bits and pieces and things to come up on the show. I think we'll have a bit of Elkapath now, and we'll then get on and have a chat with Carla. So this Elkapath Show Me official music video.
When your time is running out, you should know. When you're no longer afraid, it should show. You didn't think that love was real, now you know. You didn't think you were good enough, now it shows. Take me by my when the hurt is creeping in, let it go. When you feel like giving up, let me know. I will be there right by your side to lift you up. If you feel the doubt is grabbing you, shove it off. Take me by my
Now playing with cats as is appropriate. See cats now.
I
That's
think they're
better.
being shy tonight. They've gone all shy now.
Yeah, you've got to move. You've got to move. That's better. Anyway, yes. Hello, hello. Welcome, Carla, to Night Shift Goth TV. So I mean, obviously, you've been going great guns in recent times. Elkapath seem to be really the talk of the town in most places. So. How, I mean, obviously you've also been through a bit of sort of difficulties with lineups in recent times, but also as I said a minute or two ago now, I think last time I saw you, you were the best I'd seen, and you commented to me that you feel that the current sort of people you've got working with you, and I will shut up soon, current people you've got working with you, you're really gelling with. Is that the case, you say?
Yeah, we get on well, and I feel like we're like a proper like team. Like, 'cause obviously I think it takes a while to actually find the right people to fit your band. It's not like going to happen overnight, is it? So it's kind of like just need to find what works for you at the end of the day. Because like I basically went into it not knowing really what I was doing in the beginning, and I would just kind of like pick anyone that would sort of be interested. But as time went on, I needed to find sort of like the right people that would fit within the band.
So who is the core of Elkapath then? Obviously, it must be you.
Obviously, me, yeah.
Bit
So
of an
basically,
essential part.
yeah, basically started off as a solo sort of project like years and years ago. Like when I first started writing music, it was more of a sort of gothic trip hop sort of electronic sort of project, which it wasn't even metal at all. At the time it started, it was more of electronic sort of style sort of thing that I was doing. I wasn't really looking to like go live with it straight away. It was more of a sort of online thing at the time, which I enjoyed doing. And I just basically like put my songs on YouTube and see what would happen and see what people would think of it. And people did like it. It was a bit unusual, a bit like different from what everyone else was doing.
So
That's basically how it started out.
how did the metal sort of element end up creeping in then?
I think after a while I started to listen to a lot more metal, but then I decided I wanted to sort of like take Elkapath live, not be like an online thing. So I got my friend Elliot to join at first because he played guitar, and I just wanted to see what it would sound like with a guitar, with my backing tracks that I made myself. Because basically I wrote everything like electronically on the computer, but then I want to see how it would sound with a guitar playing in the background, and I liked the sound of it. So then I thought, actually, I want to do a bit more with what I'm doing and actually take it live and see how it goes. So then back in, I think it was 2019, we had our first show, and it was just, at the time, Chris was like a stand-in drummer, and then I just had Elliot on the guitar. We started off as like a three-piece sort of like band. But then later on, I ended up finding a permanent drummer, and it just went from there, really.
Yeah. So how did you find it sort of taking the project live when it had been just sort of in the studio? How did it then feel to take it live as more a band for you?
But obviously, well, before I did the band, I started doing a bit of singing at open mic nights where it would just be me and the backing track. So that's kind of how I got into it at first, but then took it to that level. But yeah, it was different from singing by myself. By myself I felt a bit more anxious, I guess, a bit more shy about it. But then once I like got the band together, it gave me more confidence to do what I was doing, and then it made me kind of move around a bit more, because at first when I started doing it, I felt a bit timid and shy, and I just like hold the microphone like this. But as time went on, it kind of progressed into it helped me with my confidence a lot more as well, like having other people in it.
How is it? I mean, I would say sort of when I first saw you at Alice's Wicked Tea Parties, that was in a way a bit closer to a more static performance, whereas when I saw you in Coventry, it was much more electric and alive, and I thought it was really quite a superb show you put on. I think it really captured the attention so much, and I think your movement in that was it seemed like you were more fired up in Coventry. Would you say that was the case, or was there anything you think about that night sort of in particular somehow that sort of helped, or do you think just certain days it just seems to come out a bit more?
I think as time went on, like obviously getting new musicians, I learned more and more by them musicians. So obviously like using in-ears, and it would make us be more in time. So
Yeah.
that way we were sound better as a band, because obviously everything's like in time. We've got like the click track with the guitarist and the drummer as well, so everything would be like perfectly in time. And then like when I first actually started doing that with the backing track and in-ears, I just thought, wow, this sounds amazing, because everything was just so in time.
Yeah,
and that's what made it more professional.
That sort of clarity of the sound to you, as opposed to say coming from a monitor, which, you know, from my experience, they can often be somewhat awkward in the tones that you may get from a monitor depending on where it is that you're playing. So you feel that sort of hearing the music in a sort of more precise fashion has helped you sort of get into the music more live, perhaps, you know, to feel what is going off with it. Do you think that could be it?
Like, when I first started the band, obviously like when you first start a band, nobody knows what they're doing, you just like sort of wing it, don't you?
Yeah.
But like basically we weren't using in-ears at the time, so I just felt like everything would start speeding up all of a sudden, like everyone would start playing faster and faster, then I would find it hard to like keep up with everyone. And that's what I like about it now, is that we're actually doing it more professionally and using like in-ears and stuff like professionals would. So yeah, I've learned a lot from my experience in the past 5 years from when I started and how it is now.
How is are you still sort of largely composing like the basis of a track yourself and then getting other people to work and elaborate on that, or is it more communal now in how tracks are created?
But yeah, so basically these two albums I have here, well, this one was like the first album, this was the second EP. I wrote everything on these two albums, but on the third album that we've been working on, we're actually co-writing, which is something I've never really done. So like Simon's written a few songs on the new album that will be out hopefully next year, because we are still working on stuff. Our bassist is also written a song on the new album as well. We're also going to be having a vocalist join us on one song. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm going to keep it a secret for now.
I mean, you know, if you get, and I suppose when you get, say, Andrew Aldrich on board, you can't really let that out, can you? Oops.
Well, I'm going to say it's a German band, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, Rammstein have been pestering me for ages.
The vocalist is going to be joining us on one track, so
I'm sure that's going to be pretty spectacular. What is it that sort of? How has it been then? So, to instead of having that absolute total control in terms of the songwriting, how has it been to then sort of, in effect, allow in the feelings and sort of influences of the others to the way songs are going, and how is it influencing direction, if it is?
At first I was a bit like, I'm not sure if I want to let anyone else sort of like do the writing part, because I'm just so used to doing it myself, and it's like kind of always been my own thing. So at first it was kind of like, oh, it's a bit strange, like letting other people sort of not take over but like join in. But like so far it's been like a different kind of learning experience, and it's been quite nice, and I'm actually really enjoying it, because at first I was quite sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't quite sure about letting other people have some control over things. When I suppose it had been your project and vision to begin with, sort of allowing in that other element, I guess, was a little awkward. Well, we have a comment on Twitch from Misfit Buster saying, "I'm so glad you got to do black spiders with a literal black spider."
Yeah, that was funny. That was just this black spider came down.
Yeah.
from nowhere, and I had to hold it in, not laugh while I was singing because it was hilarious.
I mean, the movement of it was a little bit more erratic than we might have expected, but it was. I think it made for a great, a really fun sort of effect. And sort of speaking of fun, do you feel that there can be sort of any more kind of fun element brought into the band rather than, say, just being a serious artistic thing? How much do you feel fun can? I mean, from knowing you, you've. Oh, and Gwen says hello, as by the way, and knowing you sort of somewhat personally, I know perfectly well how a lot of fun you can be indeed. So, how much do you think fun can sort of creep into the Elkapath thing, or has it got to be always serious? I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say I take myself too seriously. I do like to have fun. I do like to have a good time. I mean, I don't drive anyway, which is kind of a bonus because that means I can have a little drink
Yeah.
beforehand.
So you have slaves to drive you around, yes.
Yeah, so like, yeah, basically I'm the queen and everybody else is like driving me around. So
Yeah,
it's great. I like that. I like that part.
yeah, plenty of servants to do your bidding. That's the way it's meant to be. So, what is sort of happening to the music then going forward with the sort of way things seem to be progressing? You think what are there some new elements perhaps coming into things in with obviously having in the new songwriters? What new areas, if indeed there are new areas, what new areas might you be going into with the new material?
I would say like there's more of a sort of Nightwish within Temptation / Birthday Massacre, sort of creepy darkness. There's a bit of like everything mixed in there for the next album. But it's definitely, yeah, the songwriting's definitely gotten a lot more mature and yeah, a lot more better in a way.
Yeah.
I can hear some like different influences in there from everyone else as well, so that I've been co-writing with, so it's gonna be a little bit of a change, but
Yeah.
still the Elkapath sort of sound.
And considering you sort of started in a sort of trip hoppy kind of way, who were those influences that got you started in that sort of thing? Because obviously we said with like now maybe getting into the Nightwish within Temptation area. So who was it who sort of got you up there performing?
Well, at first for me, like writing electronic music was, I'm a big fan of the Prodigy and like I basically grew up with like rave music and stuff like that, but I also grew up with like horror films, so I like the dark element of like horror films, music like Puppet Master, like Chucky, that sort of thing, that sort of darkness about it. And that's what I always was like drawn to, sort of like the dark sort of films in a way. Even though I was like young and I shouldn't have been watching them sort of films, I was just drawn to it because I used to like scream in the shop when I was a kid. Mum would take me to the video shop and I would just point at Pinhead saying, Pinhead, Pinhead, Hellraiser, I want to watch that one, I want to watch that one. And I just screamed the shop down until I got what I wanted.
I mean, yeah, that's obviously. I mean, I do hope that's the way things continue in the band as well. You just scream at people until you get what you want. But so it's interesting. Sort of, I'm humongously influenced by the film Liquid Sky. So, what films, if any, sort of might sort of influence the way Elkapath goes then?
I would say like from our first single, Black Spiders, that was heavily influenced by Tim Burton. A lot of people say that they can hear like the Tim Burton influence in it. That sort of like darkness but creepiness, but like dark fantasy sort of thing about it. And everyone still loves that track now, Black Spiders one.
Yeah. So it'd be ideal for the new series of Wednesday if anyone wants to get in touch. And we have Andrew Hunt on Facebook saying that he likes Elkapath. They seem cool people. Are you cool people? Yes, you seem that to me. So
I think we're pretty cool.
that's handy. And
I mean, I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter of the bands. I always help other bands out if like there's a gig and that band fits that sort of genre for the lineup, I will tag them in it, and I will look out for the bands. I am a big supporter of other bands. I just always think about myself. I'm always supporting other bands myself. I love live music. That's what I live for. So.
Yeah, I know from experience, you say, you have been very kind in recommending me for one or two things. One didn't exactly quite pan out, but it was very, very good of you to mention me in conversation with them, and also when we played together in Nottingham for first time, you did post plenty of pictures of the other bands and that sort of thing. And yes, unfortunately we have a bit of a problem right now because all your cats have run off, and this is offending people who've tuned in to see cats. And this
I know what I can do though. I can get the treats out if come along there.
Yeah, that must be the way. I mean, we've tuned in here for cats and
treats. Here they come, see if they treats.
This is what everyone was here for, you know, because Gwen was asking where's Carla's cats. So hope this is satisfying everyone. We will get back to music shortly, but at first we need a solid bit of cat treat action. How many cats do we have with you? Do you have just 2 cats? Or
just 2, yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I would have more if I could, but obviously I couldn't afford it, and I don't have a big enough house.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'd probably be about 20 cats.
2 is a fine. 2 is a fine number anyway. So
this breed is my favourite, short hair Oriental cat, which is my favourite breed.
So how do cats influence you? No, do the cats contribute anything to the music? Do they join in at all, you know, when you're creating?
Sometimes when Simon's in the studio, he'd be playing his guitar, I'm probably try and join in, because like she's got a great screaming voice. She doesn't meow like a normal cat. It's just like, rah! I should try and like join in.
yeah, I've known a few cats that go more meh than meow. So Misfit Buster said earlier as well, I'll speak only from experience. They bring fun, they bring humour, they bring emotion, they bring passion, and they bring anger. They bring all of it. The band are absolute genius. So I thought you might like to know that. Do your cats enjoy music at all much sort of otherwise? Because Gwen's cat, that's my girlfriend, everyone, by the way, in case you don't know, Gwen's feline companion Zami does enjoy very much certain bands. He's always keen to watch me. So do your cats enjoy watching or listening to any particular music?
I think Sky's more into sort of ghost shows, because she seems to like run towards the screen and sort of tap the screen when there's like ghosts on it and stuff, or like there's orbs should be like this at the screen. So that's more her sort of thing. I think she's like really into the paranormal sort of side of things.
yeah.
Whereas Poppy don't take any notes of TV anyway. She just sits there.
Yeah. So we should really get back to actually talking about the band and that sort of thing rather than cats. But cats are just great, aren't they? Anyway, so obviously Elkapath are playing live tomorrow in Coventry again, and is this I mean, it's interesting that last time I saw you didn't have the drummer with you, which to me, I prefer that. And it's my particular preference. I just happen to find drummers a little bit too noisy a lot of the time, but that's just me. I'm not saying you should do that. But is a drummer with you on Friday, or is it another?
No, it's never. We're going to stick him on the backing track again.
Yeah.
Like basically, you can't always be there, so the backing track comes in handy for when he's not there. So it still kind of works, even if we have 3 musicians for the night and somebody drops out. We'll always make it work.
I mean, as I say,
we won't drop out the show unnecessarily. If you know what I mean, we won't drop out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
try and make it work.
You were fantastic in Coventry last time I saw you without a drummer. Again, it's just my particular preference. I'm not saying anyone should or shouldn't do it. It's just up to you, however you want to do it. But I'm sure you will put on a fabulous show again anyway. What other shows are coming up for Elkapath then? Where can people find...
I did actually write this down because my memory is terrible. Obviously, tomorrow, Coventry, Necroscope, the Industrial Goth Night, which is on every month. Everybody should check that out and come on down. It's only about 30 minutes away from me anyway. We've got Birmingham, Gloucester, Halloween. I'm not going to say who we're playing with yet because that's never a surprise. The Gothic Gathering in Colville, we play at the Victoria Bikers Bar quite a lot because, again, that's not that far from us anyway. We're doing Regain Fest, Burnley. We're doing Colville again with Fleisch and Dampires in November, which is near my birthday, so it'd be kind of like a birthday celebration at the same time as well. Yeah, got still a few gigs left.
Yeah, still quite a bit coming up. Nigel, George Lima, I assume it's Lima, it could be Lima.
And tomorrow we've actually got our new guitarist as well joining us for the first time in Coventry.
That's going to be exciting.
New lead guitarist.
That's going to be very, very interesting to see you sort of throw him in at the deep end. And Nigel George Lima. I apologise if that isn't the way your surname is spelled. Said Nigel, but he says he's looking forward to seeing you again in Colville. So that's something. So what else do you think? What is the thing that drives you with doing music? What makes you keep on doing it, and what are you? Is there somewhere, like in particular, maybe you're hoping you can eventually play? And is there someone maybe other than this unnamed German that you're going to be featuring? Is there anyone you sort of really like to work with? So let's talk sort of what inspires you to keep on going and doing all this.
I think it's kind of strange because, like, ever since I was like a little girl, around sort of 6 or 7, I always made up my own songs in my bedroom, and I always recorded myself and like do these silly little mini shows and pretend I'm like a radio person and like just make up these stories. It's like something I've always had in my imagination, kind of thing. I'd like sing along to my dolls and stuff. So it's like something that's always been there, and like, yeah, it's just like natural. I feel like it's like a natural thing that I've always had. But I never expected to be doing what I'm doing now when I was a kid, if you know what I mean. Like, the little girl would be proud of me now.
Yeah, little girl you didn't quite expect you would end up as a super popular rock star. So we'll sort of just about finish in any second because I need to play some other stuff and so forth. So where would you perhaps love to end up playing, if there's anywhere?
Probably Bloodstock Festival, I think, because we're going there next week for a holiday, basically. So we'll be hanging out there. If anyone wants to come say hi to us, we'll be at Bloodstock Festival.
We want to see Elkapath at Bloodstock next year then. I mean, obviously you can see Elkapath just visiting Bloodstock this year. So one final thing, anything you think I've missed that you'd like to mention before we play a bit more of your music?
I actually pulled you a tarot card earlier because I'm quite into my tarot cards. So basically it says for you, this is your card. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. So basically, you're a very busy bee.
Yes, as sort of pretty much any card might say, basically. Yes, it's always good to have a good solid bit of Barnum's statement to make people believe things are appropriate to them. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. It's been lovely, and thank you for the cats. We needed the cats especially, obviously. And good luck with your gig tomorrow with Palindromes, who are also quite fabulous. And I'm sure it will go well, and hopefully we'll see you at some point later in this year. So, all right, I'll get on and play a bit of you at Colville next. I've got Fight or Flight set up to play, so we'll get that on now. And so I will say goodbye for now, and thank you very much for joining me for this somewhat random rambling chat about things. All right. Bye for now, then.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, come here tonight. It means a lot. Support the original band. Bye-bye.
So that's Necroscope. That is on tomorrow in Coventry. You can see Palindrones and Elkapath. Thought I'd give that plug. Yeah, I did go play there earlier this year with Elkapath. There was a sort of emergency call there. So yeah, that's something that you might wish to go to if you are somewhere within reach of Coventry. Very, very good night. Very, very nice venue. So get along to that if you can, everyone. Right, and also I've got coming up next week in Leeds, I have this exciting event which I'm going to preview to some extent in a moment. We've got the wonderful Sister Chain and Brother John. We've got Spectralize over from Canada, and we have Memory Theatre as well, which is next Friday at the Fox Newt in Leeds. So I need to play you some stuff from that. So let's find some Sister Chain performing at Goths on a Field recently. So let's get this on screen and then let you enjoy a bit of Sister Chain and Brother John.
And I say, but have you got what it takes? Baby, you're the reason that my head's in a mess. Baby, when I think of it, I wanna step out to the strip on my own in a red satin nightie. I'm not one of your whores. In a red satin nightie in a lush hotel. Ring the bell. Come to kiss and tell me you love me, darling. Drunk I lie. Suddenly I spy. You've been on the sly all the time behind me. I'm not one of your whores. In a red satin nightie. It was a king, stranger in tights, selling advice to a lost leopard. I am singing metaphors of class. 74, my terrified face in the mirror.
Well, I think they are really something decidedly superb, which is why indeed I asked them along to play next week. Very, very much looking forward to see them. And also we have Spectralize over from Canada. We'll get her on in just a second. I just get it on screen. Yes. Spectralize, something very different over from Canada. So very much going to be exciting having a Canadian. Well, I think she went to university in Leeds in the UK anyway, or something. Anyway, here's Spectralize with, I think it's Rat Race. So. Yes, I'm back on screen briefly. Right, that was Spectralize, something very different and exciting, I think. And we're going to finish tonight with Memory Theatre. This is the track Fears and something or other. I can't remember now. You'll find out when it starts anyway.
Not what it seems. so